Imagine a future where you are the creator of your own destiny, not constrained by past patterns, not living in reaction to external pressures, but completely empowered to shape your own reality. Science has uncovered a truth that makes this possible. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change and adapt throughout life. Learn how you can harness this power and grow into the best version of yourself you can be. So subscribe to the channel and enjoy the videos. Your brain is always changing. Your brain is like a living, breathing masterpiece that is constantly changing and evolving. Right this moment, as you read these words, billions of neurons in your brain are firing and connecting in new ways, creating patterns and pathways that didn't exist a moment ago. This process is called neuroplasticity, and it's one of the most extraordinary features of the human brain. It means you are not stuck in the person you were yesterday, last year, or even 5 minutes ago. Your brain is designed to adapt, grow, and transform. Imagine your brain as a vast forest, with countless trails winding through it. Some of these trails are well-worn, easy to follow, because you've traveled them many times before. These are your habits, routines, and automatic thoughts. But neuroplasticity means that you can create brand new trails anytime you want. Every time you learn something new, think a different thought, or try a new experience, it's like carving out a fresh path in that forest. The more you walk this new path, repeating that thought or action, the stronger it becomes, eventually becoming a main road. This isn't just a poetic way of describing personal growth. It's a literal, physical change happening in your brain. Neurons, the tiny cells that make up your brain, communicate with each other through electrical signals. When you think or do something repeatedly, these neurons form stronger and faster connections. Over time, this creates a kind of mental shortcut, making it easier for your brain to repeat that action or thought. This is why habits form, and why they're so powerful. But here's the good news, you're not stuck with the trails you've already made. You can always create new ones. Let's say you've always thought of yourself as someone who's not confident. Maybe this belief has been reinforced over time by experiences or self-doubt, creating a well-worn path in your brain. Neuroplasticity means you can start building a new path, a belief in your confidence. It won't happen overnight. And at first it might feel unnatural, like trying to walk through a thick, overgrown part of the forest. But every time you consciously choose to think, I am capable, or I can handle this, you're clearing that new trail a little more. With enough repetition, the new path becomes stronger, and the old one starts to fade. The truly empowering part of this is that you are in charge of what your brain becomes. Your thoughts and focus shape your mind. If you constantly think about problems, failures, or fears, your brain will wire itself to expect and focus on negativity. But if you choose to focus on solutions, gratitude, and possibilities, your brain will rewire to look for those instead. This isn't just about positive thinking. It's about taking control of your brain's natural ability to adapt. Science has shown that even in adulthood, the brain remains flexible and capable of growth. No matter your age, you can learn new skills, overcome old habits, and even shift your personality. The key is intentionality, making conscious choices about where to direct your thoughts and energy. Think of neuroplasticity as your superpower. You're not trapped by the past or limited by who you've been. You're constantly evolving. With every small shift in thought or action, you're shaping the person you're becoming. Change doesn't happen all at once, but every little step rewires your brain in ways that lead to transformation. The possibilities are endless, and they all start with what you choose to focus on today. Most people live on autopilot. Most of us go through life without even realizing we're running on autopilot. Think about your typical day. You wake up, check your phone, go through your morning routine, and move into the tasks of your day, work, errands, or responsibilities. Along the way, you might find yourself replaying the same worries, reacting in the same ways, and feeling the same emotions as you did yesterday. This pattern often repeats itself day after day, so much so that it feels like life is happening to you, rather than something you're actively creating. Here's why this happens. Your brain loves efficiency. It's designed to conserve energy, and one way it does this is by automating as much as possible. Once you've thought a certain way, reacted to a situation, or done something enough times, your brain creates a kind of shortcut for it, a well-worn neural pathway that allows you to do it again without much effort. This is incredibly useful when it comes to things like brushing your teeth or driving to work. But when this automation extends to your thoughts, emotions, and habits, it can trap you in a cycle of sameness. Over time, these repeated patterns become your default mode of operating. If you've spent years worrying about what others think, feeling unworthy, or focusing on what's wrong, your brain wires itself to think and feel that way automatically. It's like a playlist that keeps looping the same songs. You might not even notice it because it feels so familiar. It's just how life is. But in reality, you're living in the past. Your old experiences, beliefs, and reactions are controlling your present and shaping your future. The real problem with living on autopilot is that it limits your growth. When you're stuck in the same loop, you're not creating anything new. Your brain isn't being challenged to form new connections or explore different possibilities. You might feel like you're just getting through the day, but deep down there's often a sense of dissatisfaction, a feeling that there's more to life, but you're not quite sure how to reach it. Breaking free from autopilot requires waking up to your patterns and choosing to do things differently. It's not easy because your brain is comfortable with the familiar, even if the familiar isn't serving you. But the beauty of the human brain is its ability to change. The same process that created those automated loops, repetition and reinforcement, can be used to create new ones. The key is becoming conscious of your thoughts and actions. For example, instead of letting your mind wander to worries or negative self-talk, you can deliberately focus on thoughts that empower you. Instead of reacting to situations in the same old way, you can pause and choose a response that aligns with the person you want to become. At first, this might feel unnatural, even uncomfortable. That's because you're stepping off the well-worn path in your brain and creating a new one. But the more you practice, the easier it becomes. Living consciously means deciding moment by moment who you want to be and how you want to show up in the world. It means taking back control from the automatic programs running in the background of your mind. It's not about perfection, it's about awareness and choice. When you step out of autopilot, you open the door to growth, change, and the possibility of creating a life that feels truly your own. The quantum leap, shifting from victim to creator. Life often feels like it's happening to us. We experience setbacks, challenges, and unpredictable events that seem beyond our control. When this happens, it's easy to fall into a mindset where we see ourselves as victims of circumstances, believing the external world dictates our happiness, success, or sense of worth. But what if this isn't the whole truth? What if you have far more power than you realize to shape your reality, starting not with what's outside, but with what's within? Here's where the idea of a quantum leap comes in. It's about shifting from a reactive way of living where you're constantly at the mercy of external circumstances, to a creative way of living, where you intentionally design your life from the inside out. At its core, this transformation begins with understanding a powerful principle rooted in physics, the quantum field. The quantum field is the invisible web of energy that connects everything in the universe. It's the realm of infinite possibilities, where matter and energy are interchangeable and where potential becomes reality. Science has shown us that the quantum field doesn't respond to what you do. It responds to who you are being. In other words, your internal state, your thoughts, emotions, and energy shapes how the world responds to you. Think of yourself as a radio transmitter. Whatever frequency you broadcast is what you attract and tune into. If your inner state is one of frustration, fear, or lack, the world around you mirrors those feelings back. But when your inner state is one of gratitude, confidence, and possibility, the quantum field reflects those as well. You become a magnet for the experiences that match your energy. This shift isn't about denying your challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about reclaiming your power by focusing on what you can control, your internal state. For example, imagine facing a difficult situation at work. If you approach it with a victim mindset, you might think, "Why does this always happen to me?" Or "There's nothing I can do about this." These thoughts only reinforce the feeling of powerlessness, keeping you stuck in a cycle of frustration. But if you shift into a creator mindset, you start asking different questions. What can I learn from this? How can I grow? What energy do I need to bring to this situation to change it? These questions empower you to take action and reframe the experience. At first, making this shift can feel unnatural because we're conditioned to react to the external world. But the truth is, your external world is a reflection of your internal state. By intentionally choosing your thoughts and emotions, you start to change how you show up in the world, and as a result, how the world responds to you. This process doesn't happen overnight, but it's the most liberating journey you can take. When you realize you're not just a passenger in life, but the driver, you step into your role as the creator of your reality. The circumstances around you may not immediately change, but your relationship to them will. And as your energy aligns with the possibilities you want to create, the external world will inevitably shift to match it. The quantum leap is about becoming conscious of who you are being in every moment. It's about stepping out of the patterns of reaction and into a space of intentionality. You're not at the mercy of the world. You're a co-creator with it. Change your internal state, your thoughts, emotions, and energy, and watch as your external reality begins to transform. This is your power. This is your leap. The hidden cost of comparison. In today's world, comparison has become almost second nature. With just a few swipes, we're exposed to carefully curated snapshots of other people's lives, their vacations, accomplishments, relationships, and milestones. On the surface, it might seem harmless, even entertaining, but underneath there's a hidden cost to this constant comparison, and it's taking a toll on your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. When you scroll through social media and compare yourself to others, your brain interprets what you're seeing as a potential threat. It doesn't matter if it's a picture-perfect vacation, a new job announcement, or a gym selfie. Your mind perceives it as a reflection of what you lack. Why don't I have that? Am I not good enough? What am I doing wrong? These subtle yet powerful thoughts activate your body's stress response. Suddenly, your brain starts releasing hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, the same chemicals designed to help you survive life-threatening situations. These hormones are incredibly useful if you're running from a predator, but when they're triggered by something as simple as a scroll through Instagram, they become harmful. Every time you compare yourself to someone else, you're reinforcing a sense of inadequacy within your mind. You start believing you're not enough. Your achievements aren't big enough. Your relationships aren't perfect enough. Your life isn't exciting enough. These feelings chip away at your self-esteem and create a cycle of negativity. The more you compare, the worse you feel, and the worse you feel, the more you're drawn to compare, searching for validation or proof that you measure up. But the truth is, you're chasing an illusion. What you see on social media is not reality. It's a highlight reel, a polished version of people's lives, designed to show the best moments while hiding the struggles, insecurities, and messy parts. Comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel is not just unfair. It's damaging. You're measuring yourself against a standard that doesn't exist. Over time, this constant state of comparison and the resulting stress response takes a toll on your health. Cortisol, when released in small doses, can help you handle challenges. But when your body is constantly flooded with it due to ongoing stress, it weakens your immune system, disrupts your sleep, and even affects your memory and decision-making. It's as if you're carrying a weight that gets heavier with every passing day. But there's good news. You don't have to live this way. You can break free from the cycle of comparison by shifting your focus inward. Instead of measuring your worth by what others are doing, start asking yourself, what do I want? What makes me feel fulfilled? How can I use my time and energy to create a life that feels meaningful to me? These questions redirect your energy from reacting to others' lives to building your own. It's not easy to stop comparing. Our brains are wired to notice differences and rank ourselves. But with awareness and intention, you can start to take back control. The next time you catch yourself comparing, pause. Remind yourself that what you see is only part of the story. Turn your focus inward and ask, what can I do right now to grow, improve, or find joy in my own journey? Your energy is precious. Every moment you spend comparing is a moment you could be using to create, to connect with yourself, to work toward your dreams. Life isn't about keeping up with anyone else's version of success. It's about defining your own and putting your heart into building it. When you stop looking outward for validation and start looking inward for purpose, you'll find a sense of freedom and fulfillment that no curated highlight reel can ever provide. Stress, your body's unseen enemy. Stress has become such a common part of modern life that many of us hardly notice it anymore. Deadlines at work, family responsibilities, financial worries, and the constant buzz of notifications all contribute to a sense of being perpetually on edge. But while stress might feel like just an annoying part of life, it's doing far more damage than you realize. Behind the scenes, it's affecting your body in ways that can seriously impact your health and well-being. When you feel stressed, your body activates what's known as the fight or flight response. This is an ancient survival mechanism designed to protect you in life-threatening situations. Imagine you're in the wild and suddenly face a predator. Your body immediately floods your system with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These chemicals prepare you to either fight off the threat or run for your life. Your heart rate increases to pump more blood to your muscles, your breathing becomes faster to take in more oxygen, and your senses sharpen. In a true emergency, this response can save your life. The problem is that in today's world, your body can't tell the difference between a life-threatening danger and the everyday stress of a work email or a disagreement with a loved one. Every time you experience stress, whether it's from external pressures or your own thoughts, your body reacts the same way as if you were facing a predator. And while this response is helpful in short bursts, it becomes harmful when it's triggered constantly. When you live in a near constant state of stress, your body is flooded with stress hormones far more than it's designed to handle. Cortisol, in particular, is meant to help you respond to immediate challenges, but chronic exposure to it starts to take a toll. Your immune system weakens, making you more vulnerable to illness. Your heart works overtime, increasing your risk of heart disease and high blood pressure. Stress even affects your brain, impairing memory, focus, and decision-making over time. One of the sneakiest effects of chronic stress is that it keeps you stuck in survival mode. In this state, your body and mind prioritize immediate reactions over long-term thinking and creativity. You might find yourself feeling more irritable, anxious, or overwhelmed, unable to think clearly or make decisions with confidence. It's like your body and mind are running on autopilot, just trying to get through the day. The good news is that you can break this cycle. Stress might feel like an external force you can't control, but much of it comes from how your brain interprets and responds to challenges. By learning to train your brain to find calm and focus, you can change the way your body reacts to stress. One powerful way to do this is through mindfulness or meditation. These practices help you become aware of your thoughts and feelings, without being controlled by them. Instead of reacting automatically to stressors, you learn to pause, take a deep breath, and respond with intention. Over time, this rewires your brain to be less reactive and more resilient. Another strategy is to focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't. Often, stress comes from trying to manage things outside your influence. By shifting your energy toward actions you can take and releasing the rest, you free yourself from unnecessary worry. Stress is an unavoidable part of life, but it doesn't have to control you. By finding calm within yourself and creating space to breathe, you can teach your body to step out of survival mode and into a state of balance. This not only protects your health, but also helps you approach life's challenges with greater clarity and strength. Remember, stress may be powerful, but so are you. You have the ability to train your mind and body to respond to life's pressures in a way that supports your well-being rather than undermining it. The addiction to survival hormones. Stress isn't just an occasional experience for most people, it's a state of being. Over time, living in constant reaction to the demands and pressures of life becomes so familiar that it feels normal. What many people don't realize is that their bodies can actually become addicted to the stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline that flood their system during these moments. This addiction keeps you stuck in old, unhelpful patterns, even when you desperately want to break free. When you experience stress, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline to help you respond. These hormones prepare you to deal with perceived threats, sharpening your focus, speeding up your heart rate, and boosting your energy levels. In a true emergency, this reaction is life-saving. But when the stress becomes chronic, triggered not by life-threatening situations but by everyday challenges, your body gets used to operating on this chemical cocktail. Here's the surprising part. The more frequently your body is exposed to stress hormones, the more it adapts to them. Over time, your cells develop a kind of dependence on these chemicals. It's similar to how an addiction works. Just as a smoker craves nicotine or a coffee drinker needs caffeine, your body begins to crave the rush of cortisol and adrenaline. Even when there's no immediate stressor, your body might unconsciously seek out situations or thoughts that trigger the release of these hormones because it's used to functioning in this heightened state. This creates a feedback loop. Your body becomes conditioned to expect stress, and your mind starts scanning for problems to keep the cycle going. You might find yourself overthinking, worrying about things that haven't happened, or replaying past frustrations. These mental habits serve to keep your stress response active, feeding your body the hormones it's come to rely on. In a way, you're stuck in survival mode, not because you want to be, but because your body has learned to operate that way. Living in this state isn't just exhausting, it's harmful. Chronic exposure to cortisol and adrenaline wears down your immune system, disrupts your sleep, and increases your risk of serious health issues like heart disease and anxiety disorders. It also makes it harder to think clearly, stay focused, and make decisions because your brain is constantly in fight or flight mode rather than a calm, creative state. Breaking free from this cycle begins with awareness. The first step is recognizing the patterns in your thoughts and behaviors that keep you stressed. Ask yourself, do I often feel on edge even when there's no clear reason? Do I gravitate toward drama or conflict? Do I replay stressful events in my mind? These are signs that your body might be stuck in a stress addiction. Once you're aware of the pattern, you can start to consciously redirect your focus. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending everything is fine. Instead, it's about shifting your attention to positive, empowering thoughts that help you break the cycle. Practices like mindfulness, meditation, and gratitude journaling are powerful tools for retraining your brain. By regularly focusing on what's going well in your life, or simply grounding yourself in the present moment, you send a signal to your body that it's safe to relax. Physical activity is another effective way to reset your system. Exercise helps burn off excess stress hormones and releases endorphins, the body's natural feel-good chemicals. Even a short walk can help you break out of the stress loop and shift your focus. Remember, breaking free from this addiction won't happen overnight. Your body has spent months or even years adapting to stress hormones, and it takes time to rewire those patterns. But every time you choose to redirect your thoughts and focus on something positive, you're taking a step toward freedom. With consistent effort, you'll find that you can move out of survival mode and into a state of calm, creativity, and empowerment. This is your chance to reclaim your energy and use it to build the life you truly want, free from the grip of stress. Transformation starts from within. True transformation doesn't happen by chasing external changes. It begins within. Most people spend their lives looking outward for validation, hoping that if they achieve more, look better, or gain approval from others, they'll finally feel fulfilled. But this approach keeps them stuck in a cycle of striving without ever truly arriving. The secret to meaningful, lasting change is understanding that everything you experience in your outer world is a reflection of your inner state. To create a new reality, you must first align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the version of yourself you want to become. Your inner world is incredibly powerful. It's made up of your beliefs, thoughts, emotions, and the way you see yourself. These internal patterns act like a blueprint for your life, influencing how you interpret situations, how you respond to challenges, and ultimately what you attract into your reality. If your inner world is filled with doubt, fear, and negativity, it's almost impossible for your outer world to bring you joy, abundance, or success. Even if you achieve external success, it will feel empty if your inner state isn't aligned with it. Transformation begins when you decide to take control of this inner blueprint. This means shifting your focus from what's happening outside of you, like other people's opinions or societal expectations, and turning inward to ask yourself, who do I want to be? Notice, this question isn't about what you want to have or achieve. It's about your state of being. When you start seeing yourself as someone who is confident, peaceful, or creative, you naturally begin to think, feel, and act in ways that align with that identity. This is where the power of the quantum field comes into play. The quantum field, which science describes as a realm of infinite possibilities, doesn't respond to what you do. It responds to who you are. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are in harmony with the person you want to become, you send a clear signal to this field, setting in motion the events, opportunities, and people that match your energy. In other words, when you change your inner world, your outer world has no choice but to shift to reflect it. But how do you begin this inner transformation? The first step is awareness. Take time to reflect on the patterns of your thoughts and emotions. Are they aligned with the life you want to create, or are they rooted in fear, lack, or frustration? For example, if you want to experience abundance but often think thoughts of scarcity, there's a disconnect. To align with abundance, you need to cultivate feelings of gratitude and worthiness even before you see external proof of them. Practices like meditation, visualization, and journaling can help you bridge this gap. When you meditate, you quiet the noise of the outside world and connect with your inner self. Visualization allows you to see and feel yourself as the person you want to become, creating a mental and emotional rehearsal for your future self. Journaling helps you identify limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering ones. It's also important to practice emotional regulation. Your emotions are powerful signals to the quantum field, and learning to stay in a state of gratitude, love, and trust, even in the face of challenges, amplifies your ability to attract the reality you desire. This doesn't mean ignoring difficult emotions like anger or sadness, but rather allowing them to flow without letting them take over. The beauty of this process is that you don't need the outer world to change first. You don't need more money, a new job, or someone else's approval to feel worthy or happy. You can choose those feelings right now. When you master your inner world, you stop being a victim of circumstances and start becoming the creator of your life. Transformation truly is an inside job. It requires patience, consistency, and a willingness to let go of old habits and beliefs that no longer serve you. But the rewards are profound. As you align your inner world with your vision for your life, you'll find that the external world begins to mirror your transformation. Opportunities will arise, relationships will improve, and your sense of fulfillment will deepen, not because of what you've achieved, but because of who you've become. Building the most important relationship. The most important relationship you'll ever have is the one with yourself. It's easy to think that relationships with others, partners, friends, family, are the key to happiness and success. And while these connections are undeniably important, the foundation for all meaningful relationships begins within. When you cultivate a deep, loving, and respectful relationship with yourself, you unlock the ability to create a life filled with purpose, fulfillment, and genuine happiness. But in today's fast-paced world, it's easy to forget the importance of this internal relationship. Society often tells us that we need to look outward for validation and success, whether through achievements, possessions, or external approval. The pressure to meet these standards can lead to self-doubt, feelings of inadequacy, and a sense of never being enough. The truth, however, is that when you focus on growing your connection with yourself, everything else in your life begins to fall into place. This doesn't mean focusing on yourself in a selfish or narcissistic way. Prioritizing self-love and personal growth isn't about neglecting others or ignoring the world around you. It's about filling your own cup so that you have the energy, clarity, and compassion to give freely to others. Think of it like the safety instructions on an airplane. When the oxygen mask drops, you put it on yourself first so you can help others. If you're not in a healthy, balanced state, it's difficult to show up as the best version of yourself for the people you care about. The relationship with yourself is built on several important pillars, with self-love being the cornerstone. Self-love is often misunderstood as pampering or indulging in temporary pleasures, but it's much deeper than that. True self-love means accepting yourself as you are, flaws and all, and treating yourself with the same kindness, compassion, and respect that you would offer a close friend. It means acknowledging your worth without needing constant external validation. This kind of self-acceptance creates a sense of inner peace, where you stop seeking approval from others because you already know that you are enough. Another crucial aspect of the relationship with yourself is self-awareness. When you take the time to really understand who you are, your strengths, weaknesses, desires, and fears, you gain clarity on what truly matters to you. This clarity allows you to make choices that align with your values, rather than being swayed by external pressures or fleeting trends. The more you know yourself, the more you can prioritize your well-being and create a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. Mental clarity also plays a significant role in this process. In a world full of distractions, it's easy to lose sight of what's important. When you regularly engage in practices like mindfulness, meditation, or journaling, you quiet the noise and give yourself the space to reflect on your thoughts and emotions. This helps you identify areas where you're stuck or where you need to grow. It's in these moments of reflection that true transformation happens. By making self-care and mental clarity a priority, you create a strong foundation for making decisions that align with your highest self. When you prioritize your personal growth, you begin to unlock your full potential. This isn't about becoming perfect, it's about becoming the best version of yourself, the one who is aligned with your true purpose and desires. Every step you take toward healing, self-acceptance, and growth strengthens the bond you have with yourself. And from that place of strength, you can move through life with greater confidence, joy, and fulfillment. Nurturing the relationship with yourself isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing process that requires commitment and patience. There will be challenges along the way, and you might stumble now and then. But the key is to keep showing up for yourself, to prioritize your mental and emotional health, and to remind yourself that you are worthy of love, respect, and success. When you do this, not only does your relationship with yourself improve, but everything around you, your career, friendships, family life, and even your sense of purpose, begins to flourish as well. By committing to your growth and nurturing the relationship with yourself, you build a solid foundation from which all other aspects of your life can thrive. Conclusion: neuroplasticity is more than a scientific discovery. It's a revolutionary key to your personal evolution. You're not bound by the past or limited by current circumstances. With focus, intention, and the power of your mind, you can rewire your brain, transform your life, and create the future you've always dreamed of. The choice is yours. Will you step into your power or remain stuck in old patterns? 2025 is calling. Make it your quantum leap.